Barbados, get up.
Good morning Barbados, good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you. Good morning Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning Barbados, good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
All things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, time to wake up, get up, get up, get up. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Friday the 23rd of May, 2025. I'm Pearson Bowen, always wonderful having you company. Thank you for keeping us company as well and for telling others about us. Bring them along, of course, sharing the show. And I encourage you always to share the show. And I thank you for doing so. For those of you watching us on our streams on Facebook, YouTube, and our website, cbc.bb, good morning. How do you do? Hope you have a lovely today. I wish you well, and I also encourage you, while you talk among yourselves, you talk to us as well. We look forward to your comments, your questions, your support, and we encourage you to continue doing so. Never, ever stop. That's my commission to you, but always share the show. Increase the numbers. Bring someone else along as well. Don't keep this to yourself. It's just too good. It will choke you if you don't just share it. So share it. Ease the burden. And of course, if you know of something or someone whose story you think we need to share, drop us an email. That email address is morninbarbados@cbc.bb. morninbarbados@cbc.bb. It's right there on your screen. Note the spelling, and then you get to us clearly. So morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and we're looking forward to you continuing to share with us your tips, and we're thanking you for partnering with us. It's Friday. So you know, with me, on a Friday, that means it's the best sleep in the world for those of us who work Monday to Friday, because tomorrow there's no alarm to sound and interrupt your rest and relaxation. So make great use of your time, make great use of the rest, because rest is absolutely critical. So don't rush the brush, but whatever you do on the weekend, we want you to always to be conscientious of others and be mindful of other road users as well. So take care of yourself. It's important that you do indeed take care of yourself. So how are you doing? Are you ready for today's riddle? Oh boy, am I ready to drop a riddle in you. Time for you to give me a call on 228-5562 or 228-5563. And I shall ask you the question today before I get into another way to do this. So the question for you to wake up your brain, get you going, simple, Simon. If you throw me out the window, you will leave a grieving wife, but drop me in the middle of a door, and you might just save a life. What am I? Seriously, what am I? If you throw me out of a window, you will leave a grieving wife. I see the brains next to me ticking already. But drop me in the middle of a door, and you might just save a life. What am I? Tick tock, tick tock, call 228-5562 or 228-5563. The quizzicalers, I have a very good peripheral vision, and so you know I can see the quizzicalers say, what are he talking about? What could this possibly be? And I'm sure that's in the middle of your mind as well, but that's okay. Take a chance on yourself. Don't waste your time Googling, because that will not help you. I want you to use your brain. Let that brain power work indeed. So call me quick. If you throw me out the window, you will leave a grieving wife, but drop me in the middle of a door, and you might just save your life. What am I? Interrupt me anytime to let me know your calls. Now, Aldersgate, what does it mean? And what does it mean to Methodists? We will delve a little deeper into that as we prepare for Aldersgate Sunday and the big national Aldersgate activity that the Methodist Church is having. Our guests will share on that in just a little while. This morning as well, we'll turn the page to a book called From Flab to Fab. What does that mean? Well, the author will join us and she will share her journey, and perhaps within those pages you will find nuggets of inspiration that will help you move from flab to fab. And I can't wait to talk to her a little bit about why she wrote the book. Well, discussion still surrounds the results of the recently concluded by-election in St. James North, and a political scientist analyst will join us as we dig beneath the surface. What are the numbers saying to us? What have the numbers said to us? And then knowing what we know, what now do we do to perhaps make change? And so Deveron Bruce will join us in just a little while too to delve even deeper into the outcome of the recently held St. James North by-election. We got a call. Somebody as bold as brass to call me early, boy. Good morning.
Good morning, Pearson.
How do you do?
I'm doing well.
Is this Beverly?
Monica.
Monica.
Yes.
Monica.
I can't get you to your call because my multi-choice was down.
Your MCTV is down. Did you call?
I got it finally fixed. That's
Oh.
how I could call you this morning.
Wonderful. That's what we call customer service, right?
Yep.
Right,
so
Monica?
I had a bit of oil.
Monica,
Yes.
don't
please.
say the wrong things. Don't say the wrong things. It'll be me and you if you do. All right, so you're watching again. Of course,
Yes.
you know you can always watch us online, right?
Yeah, I could do that, but I prefer.
You prefer to watch it in real time.
Yes.
I
I
got
be
you.
slow when I go online.
All right, fair enough. Breakfast already, Monica?
Pardon?
Have you had
Not
breakfast?
yet.
You always slow with this. Why?
No, because I guess I'm going to my garden, I vet my garden first, but I was ready to start, then to go outside, then I'll come back in and get my breakfast.
Okay, so you start with me,
Yes.
then you go into the garden,
Yes.
then you come back in and have breakfast,
Yes, please.
and then do what?
Start my day, my work.
What is that? What's your work?
Doing housework, dealing with my business.
As Ed Pearson, don't get into my business, or
No, I
you
said
mean,
dealing with my business.
or you mean you
I
work
have
from
a
home?
shop.
Pardon me?
I have a shop.
Oh, you do? What do you sell?
Dry goods.
Oh, dry goods. Okay, like a shop, like a corner shop kind of thing.
Yes.
All right,
on my
Monica,
house.
fair enough. I forgive you for that. That's all right. But have your cup of tea, okay?
I would. I don't drink
Some-
tea as in tea. I would drink like ginger tea, but not tea bags, not nothing like that.
Well, you like, and your ginger's ground, and how do you do it?
The normal ginger grated, right?
You grow ginger,
Grated? No. Have I grow it?
or you buy the ginger?
Yeah.
You don't grow it yourself.
No.
Why not?
Nothing. I try already, but and that's not.
In other words, in other words, your thumb is not fully green.
I have a green thumb.
No, you don't.
Everybody- Yes, I do. I have plenty plants, and I have a green thumb.
And a crop like ginger does not grow for you. Making it sport.
I didn't say it would not grow for me. I say try, but it just must water it too much.
All right, fair enough, Monica. Monica,
Yes, please.
do you think you have the answer?
Yes,
If you get the answer right, I will give you another one just to test your theory.
yes,
Fair?
yes.
All right. What's the answer, Monica?
Aim.
N what?
The letter aim.
Oh, the letter N. Why do you
Yes.
say so?
Because if you throw me through the...
Out of the window.
Yes.
Uh-huh. I'm left with W-I-D-O.
A widow.
W, which is a grieving wife. And
And
then
then
drop me in the
I-
middle of door.
I will get a donor.
Very good. Even the daughter on the set is nodding in agreement with you. It's like, the aha moment. The lights just went on. Very good, Monica. Very good. Listen to this one, Monica. Yes, folks, the letter N is the answer to that one. The
Yes.
question now is, what is 3/7 of chicken?
What is...
3/7 of a chicken,
Yeah.
2/3 of a cat, and half of a goat.
What is 3/3 of a chicken?
Yes, 2/3 of a cat and half of a goat. I don't know.
3/3 of a chicken.
I don't know. I
Let me see.
don't
I try to
know.
see 3/3 of a chicken.
Yes, 2/3 of a cat and half of a
Yeah.
goat. You have 2 seconds left.
See air?
I'm listening to you.
Yeah.
What's your answer? Your time's up.
Goat.
Is not. Monica, bye-bye. Have a good day here.
Thank you.
Good girl. All right, and as I was saying to you, also coming up today, with 7 days left until the end of month, St. John continues to gather all of us there, and so we want to meet with the committee today to hear what else is on the calendar of activities, and it's Festival Friday, and there are a couple soca artists who will come by. We'll talk up their story and share with you the music that they're offering for 2025. Pat Ben in the United States, good morning to you. How are you doing? Anthony Smith is also watching from New York. Good morning to you, Anthony Smith. He says good morning, 246. Auntie Faye is in St. Peter. She wishes all of us a fantastic today, and most of all, a magnificent weekend. We're back at you. Auntie Faye, have yourself a great one as well. So Pat Ben, it's your birthday? Who's going to sing the happy birthday song for Patricia Ben? Not me. But Patricia Ben, I'll say the words, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday. Happy birthday! Congratulations to you, Patricia Ben. Enjoy your birthday today. Next time, in your next iteration, ask your parents to board you in January, okay? Best month of the world. Take it from me. All right, let's get going, folks, as we turn our attention now to Aldersgate. And if you're not a Methodist, perhaps you need to know what Aldersgate is, because it's a significant moment in Methodism. Why? And so joining us this morning to talk this up as we get ready for the National Aldersgate service on Sunday is the Reverend Gerard Phils, who I know so well, but he's a part of the Aldersgate Committee planning for Sunday's event, and Dr. D. Malcolm Brewster, who is a convention guest speaker. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Rev, let's talk about this. What is Aldersgate? So we put it into context. What is the significance of Aldersgate?
Well, firstly, Brother Pace, I want to say thank you for giving us the opportunity to share in our upcoming convention. Now, Aldersgate is really just a street in London, but it took historical significance on May 24th, 1738, where one of the pioneers of Methodism, John Wesley, he went, well, according to his account, went unwillingly to Aldersgate Street to a meeting that night, and when he heard Martin Luther, a reformer, his preface to the Romans being read about how God works and changes the heart. And it is in that moment that he said that I felt that I did trust Christ and that his sins were forgiven and that he went through a life-transforming moment in his life that really went on to give birth and mushroom the Methodist movement and faith.
And so it reminds us that all of us can have a similar experience. And you know, when you look at the work of John Wesley, and in the Church of England, of all places indeed, but was seeking information. He was seeking knowledge about the scriptures, and he found interest in the Moravians, as having had gone off to the United States and returned totally unfulfilled. And it was in that moment that all of this occurred. What does it say about watching his trajectory, his thirst for knowledge through the scriptures, about him and a zealous Christian?
Interesting that you mentioned that, because why Aldersgate is also so important and significant for us, and why we go back to it, is because, as you mentioned, he was an Anglican priest at the time. He went on a missionary trip, so he was a missionary, was actively involved in the church, in missionary work. Even he was a part of the Holy Club. Some other guys with him who diligently searched the scriptures and tried to live by them. But they were missing a fundamental part, which I think Martin Luther's preface helped to clarify for him. And even his brother, a few days before, on the 21st, Charles Wesley, he himself, in a book again, he was reading a book, and that was clarified that they now came to the understanding that salvation wasn't by works, but it was firstly by putting your faith in Jesus Christ. And they had that moment, they had a life-transforming experience that went on to mushroom into so many different things in their lives.
And Charles was not well, and so he too was trying to figure out, hey, if I should die, what should happen? He was in search of knowledge, and just to be affirmed in who he is. And so it is that quest of knowledge that Methodists continue, and opening the doors of the churches to be able to bring people in. Because if you're in search of, there's a place for you to do so. And so Bible is at the center of everything the Methodist Church does. So this coming Sunday, I know we're having a big moment, a national meeting of Methodist churches. Talk to me about what we can expect.
So on Sunday, 25th of May, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., we gather at the St. Leonard's Boys Secondary School for national convention, and the Methodist community in Barbados consists of 3 circuits: the Ebenezer Circuit, the Bethel Circuit, and the James Street Spicetown Circuit. So all of our chapels will be closed on that Sunday, and we all journey to the St. Leonard's Boys Secondary School. On that day, we have 2 sessions, 2 segments. The general theme is Refresh Your Impact. For the morning from about 9 to 12, we have a sub-theme of Refresh Your Testimony. And from the afternoon from about 1 to 3, our sub-theme of Refresh Your Witness. And we are, again, and I think that's what Aldersgate does. It takes us back to that historical point and causes us to reflect afresh. And so basically we are reflecting afresh on where we are coming from and asking questions of our current journey. And so part of that, in relation to refreshing your testimony, we are seeking to, in that morning session, because a fundamental part of any Christian is that we have a story to tell of God's grace and mercy at work in our hearts and how that has transformed our lives. And so we are trying to refresh that in the morning, and we are going to try to do so by retelling the story of Aldersgate through dramatic means. Also, we have invited a young man by the name of Mr. Shama Barnard, who has a testimony, a story to tell, coming from a life of crime, and how God's mercy and grace has transformed his own life. And then we end it off by having an engaging teaching session by our guest facilitator and speaker, as we consider our own testimonies and what that means in relation to what God has given us that for, to impact this world.
And then we see how great a flame aspires. I just love that hymn. Sorry, don't start me up on that indeed. And so that's what's happening on Sunday, folks, at the St. Leonard's Boys School from 9 in the morning, 2 sessions, one from 9 to 12 noon. We had a poster up just a moment ago so you could see it for yourself. And then later on in the afternoon from 1 till 3. And you are coming not just to be entertained, but to be enlightened. And so we would like as many of you as possible, Methodists in particular, but anybody of any faith. Charles Wesley and John Wesley went on a pilgrimage. John decided as an Anglican he should go into the Moravian, and it was there that he found his heart strangely warmed. And so it's open to anyone. It's absolutely free. That is God's mercy. It's absolutely free, but you will also be entertained because there will be the national choir, some insightful teachings, a national praise worship team will be there, some drama, children's ministry, chock full. So spend the day, take the time. And so joining in the afternoon session is where you come in, Dr. Brewster. Now, Dominican.
Yes.
Let me see if I remember a little bit of what I've read about you. Dominican, musician, church organist, all of those can play steel pan. You have an interest in all of this. And your journey from Dominica took you through St. Kitts at some point.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You went through Jamaica as well as where you did your doctoral studies?
Yes, and that's where I currently reside.
And that's where you are as well?
Yes, yes.
What led you first of all to St. Kitts?
Well, I went to St. Kitts in 2014 for a regional gathering of Methodist youth called Encuentro that happens every 4 years, where, persons in the ages of like 15 to 21 or up to 24 or so gather every 4 years to just fellowship and bask in the goodness of God. Seek to form connections and so that year it was held in St. Kitts 2014, and then subsequent to that I was invited to Jamaica to teach music with a mission team from Oklahoma, and I love Jamaica. I applied for medical school, did medical school there, and now I work and reside there.
But you also work for the Lord.
Of course.
And so you have not lost your faith, you've not lost your fervor or your taste of your salt. And so you now, as the salt of the earth, you're continuing still to inspire others through the teaching of John Wesley. Talk to me about what you'll be talking about on Sunday.
Okay, so first of all, it will be 2 sessions as mentioned by Reverend Phils. So in the morning, I will be doing sort of a teaching session on the sub-theme Revive Your Testimony. And as Reverend Phils mentioned, it's one of our primary responsibilities as Christians to tell a story, and that story is of God's grace and of God's mercy. But oftentimes we shy away from doing that as we navigate the modern context, and so the focus in the morning will be to get persons to understand that it's a duty that we have, and there are ways to do it without being offensive. There's ways to do it without being imposing, and then in the afternoon, as we focus on refreshing our witness, what I will do through my sermon is to draw on inspiration from the Wesley brothers, who are the founders of Methodism, but more so, and even more importantly than them, to draw from the inspiration of God in the book of Acts, as we seek to inspire a church to reinvigorate itself and to refresh, seek the renewal that comes from above to pursue our witness.
We'll talk some more of that in just a moment. These two young men are inspiring folks, and so the invitation is open to all, but we shall continue the discussion right after this break.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
22 minutes after 6 o'clock now, as we continue looking at Methodism and the significance of Aldersgate and the relevance of you today, and whether or not you've gone away from your purpose, your passion, your drive, your connection. That's what we're talking about today, and what happens to you when you come on Sunday, how you want to reconnect as well. So we met today with the Reverend Gerard Phils, who is one of the committee members who serves on pulling this all together nationally here in Barbados, but he's also the supervising minister, I call it, really, for the northern churches of the James Street Spikestown churches, so I know him quite well. And the Reverend, I almost call you the Reverend, you're heading for that though, Dr. D. Malcolm Brewster, who is a medical doctor, but is a Methodist as well. And so he lives in Jamaica by way of Dominica, and he is going to be the feature presenter on Sunday when you come to our National Aldersgate session at the St. Leonard's Boys. And so there are two themes you're looking at, Malcolm. You're looking at refreshing your testimony. When you think of that, what are you talking about?
Okay, so first of all, your testimony is your story, right? Sometimes we think that, to have a testimony, you must have, some near-death incident. Waking up this morning is my first testimony, and it's our first testimony that we must give God thanks for. But it is through our testimony that persons get to see and know that there is a God that works in our lives. And everybody's experience is different. However, I think what we benefit from with person's testimony is the inspiration, and it helps to motivate us to persevere against all odds. And so refreshing our testimony is not necessarily seeking to change our story, but essentially focusing on the narrative, focusing on how it is that we get the message across. We live in a very secularized time where the word of God is not as popular as it probably once was, and there seems to be a lot more forces rising up against us, and so navigating, sharing our testimony in 2025 is something that I think it's amazing that the church here in Barbados have decided to focus on refreshing our testimony, because it's one of the areas really and truly that we lack as a church. As Christians, we don't speak enough of the goodness of God, and so that really would be the focus on Sunday morning.
Rev Phils, sometimes in the busyness of life, we forget what happened, how we were inspired, the things that continue to keep us going. Yes. I suppose for this first session as well, it reconnects us to that. Yes. Do you see it the same?
Yes. In fact, I think if I remember in discussing with Dr. Brewster, that there's a part in which we'll be discussing about when things go stale, and sometimes that happens depending on what is happening in life, and you probably drift in your relationship with God or drift away from the faith, and then you as probably what Revelation say, you lost your first love. And it's a means to reflect on that again, rekindle that again. And it's, you know, if I may just add that even in terms of the Aldersgate experience, because while that heart transformation may not necessarily just mean much by itself to somebody looking on from a different faith community, but I may add that that went on to be the spark and the impetus for national revival in England. So that little spark in the hearts of John and Charles Wesley then went on to transform them in terms of their outlook, their identity, their purpose, how they engage ministry, and bit by bit, things that they were thinking in those times, slavery and other, different issues that they were dealing with, and went on to spark renewal in the church and national revival. And that's part of our vision and outlook as we look at this.
But it starts with self.
Yes.
Because each of us is a component of that church. And so we have to find, I shouldn't say we have to, Pierce, so there's no directive. Oftentimes, we don't even know we've had the spark lit. We just don't feel it because we're looking for the burning sensation that says, get up, go and move now. And sometimes it does not present as that. How do we keep the faith in search of our return to our testimony?
Well, one of the things is that everybody's story is different. And so, as Dr. Brewster was mentioning, that not everybody will have a flamboyant, testimony and encounter in terms of God's grace. But as you have made that decision to put your faith and experience and to grow in God's love, it's a means of continuing. Well, even the Moravians, one of the Moravians, Peter Bowler, said to Wesley, before he came to faith, he says, preach faith until you have it. And sometimes, even though we may be going through a difficult time or not feeling certain things, is to keep at the journey, keep reading the word, keep studying, keep praying, keep around the community of faith, and persons to support you. And you will see how God continues to, in time, give you some of that assurance and confirmation that you're looking for.
It requires an active intention, Dr. Brewster. And so that's where you were talking, when you talk about refreshing your witness, to be consciously, actively engaged, rather than sit back and wait for the impetus.
Indeed. The thing about it is that our witness as a church, the unit of our witness is the individual. And I think that featured prominently in John Wesley's writings, that there needs to be an individual transformation. If we even look at in Ephesians, when Paul prayed for the church, Paul prayed first that the church be strengthened inwardly for its outward ministry. But that strengthening, it starts with individuals. And we know the saying, a chain is as strong as its weakest link. And so the focus really is to ensure that we can reach the hearts of the individuals, strengthen our faith and our resolve, and collectively, I think it would do, good for us as a church in terms of shaping our ministry in these parts of God's vineyard.
I think Sunday is going to be fantastic. Folks, I hope you feel the same way too. Good enough to want to come to the St. Leonard's Boys School. That's where the National Aldersgate service by the Methodist Church is on. Dr. Malcolm Brewster is going to be part of that right the way through, morning and afternoon. He's going to be there. He will deliver on returning and refreshing your testimony and refreshing your witness. There will be the national choir, insightful teachings, the national praise worship team, drama, a special children's ministry, because the flame still burns. And if you're querying whether or not the flame burns within you, you have to be there. Be there, and you will see how much it really still makes a difference. So don't absent yourself. It's open to all faiths, not just Methodists alone, but all Methodist churches will be closed on Sunday, because we're all heading to the national convention and national service on Sunday, and we invite all of you to be a part of it. Gentlemen, thank you.
And thank you for having
Wish
us.
you well. Keep up the great work.
Amen. Thank you.
Well done.
Yes.
We're coming right back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and together we will travel the world.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
29 minutes now to go to the hour of 7 o'clock. The dust has settled. We know the outcome. After 3 weeks of campaigning and sharing of platforms and all of that, the people of St. James North went to the polls on Wednesday and they made their decision. Chad Blackman is the ultimate winner of that. So it's now Member of Parliament Chad Blackman for St. James North. But what are the stories to be told coming out of the campaign and the results? What do the numbers say and what can we glean from the information earned from that poll? And so joining us this morning is political scientist Deveron Bruce, who has been following it right the way through. Deveron, good morning to you.
Greetings to you, Pearson. Greetings to your audience, and thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Give us your analysis of the recently concluded poll.
Well, Barbadians, as you mentioned, are now well aware of the victor in the by-election, Minister now Chad Blackman, who had a resounding success, really. As a first-time candidate, he received about 85% of the vote. I've never seen a candidate as a first-timer receive that amount, considering the fact that they don't have the history of the constituency, they don't have the relationship with the constituency as yet developed. So that type of performance, I think, is quite commendable. On the other end, you have Felicia Dijon representing the Democratic Labour Party, who is only able to amass about 15% of the vote. Now, interestingly enough, despite the fact that she is the second vice president of the Democratic Labour Party, spokesperson in education, and has had some success in the public space before, relatively well known, she was only able to achieve 15%. And that 15% is actually a reduction from the 2022 election. So the Democratic Labour Party is performing at 2018 levels within St. James North. So that is a general overview regarding the constituency results.
Let's look at the numbers of eligible voters and the turnout, because at the end of the day, turnout also is also critical to the discussion. Talk to me about what you've observed about it and what are your concerns coming out of that?
So according to the Electoral and Boundaries Commission, St. James North would have had 8,538 voters, I believe, and the turnout would have been about 37% based on those numbers. Now, I know the Prime Minister mentioned that there were some concerns regarding that 8,000 number, and her internal numbers would have represented closer to 6,000. But even then, if you had that number as a base, you would have only seen 50% turnout. So it would have been considerably lower than the national average and in line with COVID numbers, which I think is interestingly problematic, given that we're no longer under those type of restrictions. So there are concerns given the low turnout, but in all fairness, it is a by-election, which is off-season. So you would not have the same level of engagement as you would see with a national election. With a national election, there's far more spending, there's far more engagement, there are higher stakes. So you would see a greater turnout at a national, and off elections, such as by elections, there would be a reduction. But I was particularly surprised by the 37%. I don't think I've seen a turnout that low in any election in Barbados before.
What does that mean? The 37%?
So interestingly enough, the Barbados Labour Party will tell you that it has maintained its numbers within the constituency, and that the low turnout is in part due to the Democratic Labour Party's inability to get its vote out. I think there's definitely some truth to that, because the reality is that high turnouts usually mean a circumstance where both political parties are engaging in the constituency in an effective way, so they're able to get their votes out. Had the Democratic Labour Party been more competitive, you would have seen that turnout increase. But ultimately, even on that end, I still don't think that you would have had a turnout that I would consider satisfactory. So there seems to be a bit of disillusion, disengagement, apathy. Persons use many different ways to describe it, but there seems to be some reduction in interest as it relates to electoral politics. Maybe not politics in general, but electoral politics.
They say all politics is local, but at the same time, can we take the concerns that you just raised and project it nationally?
I think there's some room for that. Now, certainly St. James North has never really been a constituency that was favourable towards the Democratic Labour Party. They would have won it only one occasion, which would have been 1986, during a very strong swing in their favour. There were two other occasions where they did relatively well, and I believe that would have been 2008 and 2013. But what you're seeing right now is that 7 years after the Democratic Labour Party's defeat, they're still performing at a rate of 7 years before. So in many ways, there's been no growth. And a rule of politics generally has been that political parties, and particularly government, I should say, loses support over time. But you actually had a change in that, where government gained support within that constituency. So what you are seeing now, or the implications now for the national, is that you're seeing a reduction in support of the Democratic Labour Party within St. James North. And you could read into that and say that, quite frankly, that may very well translate further beyond St. James North, particularly given the candidate. You would assume again that a Felicia Dijon would be able to do better than 15%. So imagine the situation that other candidates who've not had the exposure, who are relatively unknown or unknown in general, how they would perform. So right now, the Democratic Labour Party should be seeing growth even in constituencies that are not favourable, but you're not seeing that growth. So I think that you can extrapolate that into the national and say that there seems to be a reduction in support for the party.
And what do you think could be attributed to that?
Well, several things. So ultimately, people would attribute leadership towards the circumstance that the Democratic Labour Party faces. But I go beyond that, and I can make mention of the fact that really it's an issue of competence and confidence. The Democratic Labour Party believes that its job is to raise issues to Barbadians, but I often say that Barbadians know what the issues are. We can walk around the streets of any road in Barbados and ask someone, and they know what the issues are. But those individuals certainly will not be elected into Parliament, even had they ran in an election. So it goes beyond just raising issues, and the public has to have the confidence, and you have to have the competence for the public to have the confidence in you. So there seems to be that issue occurring, where Barbadians do not seem to have the confidence in the Democratic Labour Party. And then you would have had the infighting over the last year and some, really. It has settled down some bit, but the reality is that the public saw the Democratic Labour Party, in essence, implode in a very public way. So you would have had those occurrences happening that I think impact negatively on the public's perception and therefore the performance of the Democratic Labour Party. So there's leadership, there is the lack of competence and confidence, and there's certainly the infighting that the party has had.
There's a saying that goes, to whom much is given, much is expected. And so now that there's a new sitting member of Parliament, there is going to be an expectation of delivery, particularly knowing that a general election is literally around the corner. What do you see to be the first thing that you think the new MP, Chad Blackman, should focus on to be able to not just maintain but grow his popularity in that parish, that district?
Well, Chad highlighted several areas that he thought were necessary and important for engaging the community and engaging the constituency and improving the constituency. He would, I assume, have his own manifestos and plans and made his own promises and commitments. So he would be best placed in knowing what St. James North constituents want. And I think he should really use the goodwill that he has had thus far within the Barbados Labour Party, and seemingly particularly with Mayor Motley, Prime Minister Motley, rather, he should use that goodwill to see what he can advance within the constituency as soon as possible. There is no mistake that he is clearly favourable by the Prime Minister, or favoured rather, by the Prime Minister, given his elevation in relatively a short period of time. So that good favour, I think he should use to his advantage, given the general election will be within short order, I assume.
I want to look now at the breakdown of males to females. Do you have that data? And if so, what can you share with us in terms of voter turnout,
So
males to females?
So I don't have the numbers for the 2025 elections, but generally you would know that females vote at a higher rate than males. In the 2022 election, I believe it was about 63% of the vote in that constituency were female. So therefore, about 2/3 of the vote being female. And that is not particularly unusual. It's generally seen across many constituencies, but I found that was particularly high in St. James North. Now, Chad, as a male himself, I think it's important for him to recognize that the male vote is significantly lower or down within that constituency, and you really ought to have males engaged in a very civic way. We know the issues that young men are having across our country currently and before, really. So I think civic engagement, participation is very important, particularly for males and young males in particular. And I think that there really needs to be rather, a plan around re-engaging constituents, and particularly male constituents, so that they're part of the process and feel part of the process. And we really have to understand why you're having a circumstance where only 1 in 3 men are in essence turning out in the constituency to vote.
I mean, if we mind even more into the numbers, I know you don't have all the data yet because it's still perhaps being compiled. I'd like to know the impact of the youth vote, because, unless we also engage with our youth, the sustainability of your presence in Parliament could also be under question. So what do you know about the turnout among the young people? Or even so, what do you know of the interest expressed by young people following the platforms that were put on in leading up to the by-election?
So quite similarly to men, young persons are also a demographic that have historically not voted at the rates of older persons. That is not surprising given the fact that you just have more older persons in Barbados than younger. But the level of engagement from the youth, I think, ought to be studied as well. The Electoral and Boundaries Commission, I would say, does not do an excellent job as it relates to building out the data regarding how persons vote based on age. You get good information based on gender because that's easier, this man and this woman. But the age categories, there's not a lot of information coming out of the Electoral and Boundaries Commission. Now, the internal aspects of the political parties, they have a better sense of how young persons vote, and they would have the data, but generally we know that younger persons do not vote in the same way, and that's not unusual, because the reality is that they don't, or they have not as yet developed the relationships and the connections with the politicians as yet. They've not gone to school with them, for instance. They've never worked with them, for instance. So the relationships have not been developed, and those relationships take time. And the interest in politics often take time, because the reality is that many young persons are, don't have the responsibilities as older persons would. So those are some of the contributing factors as to why you see a reduction, or rather a low turnout as it relates to young persons. That does not mean that young persons have not been critical within the election. You would have seen many young persons from the Barbados Civil Party canvassing the constituency, sharing the message, building data, getting the vote out. So they have been participating at the party level, but we really have to have a circumstance where now they're participating at the constituency level.
Barbados has grown accustomed to 2 major parties, and 2 major parties only contesting elections. We had 2 additional parties in this by-election. Speak to them and the impact that they would have made in this.
Well, on this occasion, and really most occasions, if not all, the third parties, or alternative parties as I call them, have not been very successful within the Barbadian context. You would have had the NUP in the early 1990s period, who would have achieved about 14-15% of the national vote. Following that would have been 2018, where the collection of third parties, Solution Barbados, etc., would have received only 5% of the national vote. So third parties and alternative parties and individuals running certainly do not do very well, because the psyche of Barbadians have been that there are 2 political parties, the Democratic Labour Party and the Barbados Labour Party. And the reality is that it is quite difficult to break that mold. You require funding, you require a long-term in the constituency, you require quality candidates. So there's several things working against alternative parties, particularly having to compete against the legacy of the Democratic Labour Party and the Barbados Labour Party. So it will take some time for them to do well going forward, but they've not had much success before in any election.
All right, Deveron Bruce, from where you sit as a political scientist, we thank you for your insight into what we now know is the outcome of the St. James North by-election, and we're looking forward to even more engagement with you over time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. Deveron Bruce, political scientist, and they're giving his insight from where he's looking at the numbers and watching the trends and the outcomes, indeed, into what happened in the recently held St. James North by-election. Morning Barbados takes a break here. We're coming back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And together, we will travel the world.
Coming to the next chapter, and the author of the book Flab to Fab is Kathy Ann Best, but she has a fear of dogs. Know that about you now, Kathy Ann. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome indeed. So, the book is called Flab to Fab.
Yes.
Why did you write this book?
Well, I like the idea of knowledge, and I believe knowledge comes from books. I mean, we can get a lot of information from YouTube and all that, which I do as well. But I think when you want to just really glean a lot of information, you like to read. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to put something out there because I love the idea of reading. So I wanted to write a book explaining to people my transformation, how I started to really love fitness, how I became fabulous.
All right, I love it. Flab to Fab. Looking at you, you're a tiny person.
No.
No. So what was it before?
Flabby.
So, okay. I think I'm flabby.
Okay.
Tell me now.
Well, I want to say you're flabby. I mean, we could tighten up the message.
Okay, don't go further. She didn't tell me what I wanted to hear. All right. Oh, you had to say it first. You look fabulous. Don't even think it.
No, you won't buy the book, so I go.
All right, madam. And so you looked at yourself and you say, mirror, mirror on the wall, I'm not as fabulous as I would want to be. And you made a decision to make a transformation.
Correct.
How easy was that, looking and being honest with yourself?
It wasn't easy. And originally, I was in the gym. I was always told by people how I was big, you know. I didn't think it was really that big, just, you know, but everybody would make a point, you know, you gotta lose weight, you're so fat. And I was going to the gym. So I was in the gym for many, many years. But there was one day I was in the gym and I happened to see a girl who was doing a bikini show passing. And I was like, I'm in the gym all the time, why don't I look like that? Because she looked fabulous. And I was a gym goer, but I didn't look like that. So I was like, why am I not looking like that? And one of the guys said, you're in the wrong room. So when he said that, I realized, okay, a lot of females, we do a lot of aerobic training, which has its place. But if you really want to change your body and become fabulous, you need to start lifting some weights. So I decided, okay, I am going to see if that's true. I am going to train for 1 year with weights, and I want to look like that. So to make me keep the promise to myself, I signed up for a show, for a bikini show, to say, I have to look like that and give myself 1 year. And this is the story of that full year. And it was really hard.
You changed the room.
Yes, I changed the room that I was training in. I was in the wrong room.
And so it requires anyone who wants to make the same transformation as you to recognize you're in the wrong room.
Yeah.
You're in the wrong room. So start by changing the room, and in changing the room, you adopt the new rules of the new room.
Yes.
And what in that new room, what did you have to do to reach that fab self?
Oh, it's hard. That room is hard. I think years ago, I was at Surf Set, and they have in their bedroom, they have a sign saying, no mirrors, no music, no messing around. This room don't play. It's not like looking pretty and going, no. You're in that room. Sometimes you come out bleeding and grunting because you have to work really hard if you want to change the way your body looks. You need to lift heavy. But I outline in the book, it's just not about lifting weights. You have to look at your sleeping, look at your eating. There's so many other factors that came into it. Because you just see these girls and you figure that's easy. It really isn't. You have to work so hard. You have to change. You want your skin to be one tone. You want to walk. I started going ballet classes, modeling class. So much goes into trying to make yourself look fabulous. And so I wanted people to see it's doable because I didn't do this at 16. I was a full adult with kids when I did this. So it's a difficult process, but it's very doable.
It's very doable. And the book is called Flab to Fab, and it's written by Kathy Ann Best, so it's doable. If you feel and you really want to truly change your body and fall in love with you again and being fit, Fab to Flab. Flab to Fab by Kathy Ann Best. And this book, no doubt, drives a lot of people who would read it to make that transformational change.
Yes.
But it starts again with you being aware and taking a conscious effort to do what you need to do to fall in line to be fabulous.
It's an honest book. Like I find sometimes people figure, oh, you don't have to feel hungry, you can just change this. And no, I'm very honest. I tell you, you die and you're going to be hungry.
Is it easy to read?
It's an easy read, but it's a difficult thing to implement.
Yeah.
But it's an easy read. Some people find it actually comical, but it's an easy read, but it's very honest. Like I'm telling you the truth. It's not an easy process, but if you commit to it, then you can have the body you want.
So chapter by chapter, bit by bit, as you tell the story and your journey, you're also leaving us with things to do?
Yes. In every chapter, there is a to-do for you to, there is an exercise routine, and there's some scientific facts that gives you some ideas. So every block, and there's a lot of poetry in it, because I like poetry.
Oh, nice, nice.
So there's a lot of poetry in the book. But it also ends with complete workout programs that you can follow.
We're watching you here in your workout programs as a, whoa, look at that. You are very agile. Me? I don't know, but that's what it takes, a commitment.
A commitment.
A commitment.
Yes.
And we see the benefits of that commitment.
Yes.
You know, we do it with relationships. We want to have a wonderful relationship, so we put in the work.
Right.
If you want to have a fabulous body, you have to put in the work.
You have to put in the work.
And don't see it as just having fun. It's a conscious, stick to it, conscious effort to change.
You do have fun sometimes. It's not all
it's not
terrible,
just about fun.
but you do have fun at some points. But I think the main point of the book, I wanted people to see how you can fall in love with fitness. Because people will tell me, oh, you don't understand. You do it all the time. It's easy for you.
Yeah, because it's easy for you for real.
You know,
she's looking at me and telling me my torso needs some work on, and that's okay. You're telling me the truth.
Everybody can.
Listen to me. You're telling me the truth, and knowing your truth is what drives you to make the change.
To make the change,
and
yes.
so, ladies, and this is not just for women, is it?
No.
Okay.
Guys were really pushing me a lot, and I think a lot of it's changing a lot now. But the weight room have the guys, and so ladies think it's it's the guy room. That's not where we go to train. It's the guys. But the guys are really good cheerleaders. You know, when they see a lady and they're trying to lift heavy, they really hype you up. Yes. So it helps a lot. Guys really helped with my transformation. But I think people need to understand that you find something that you like, and I talk about all this in the book, you start to love it. And even if it's just the changes that you love, you start to love that. And so you will do whatever it takes for that to happen. And I think that's what pushes you to keep going. And then you start to fall in love with fitness.
Yeah. How often do you work out?
Right now, 6 days a week.
Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy.
I work out
days a week. I do some walking, however.
How often?
Walking. So,
oh, just the everyday movement, not the walking for exercise.
I'm trying really hard to make it an everyday thing.
Right.
But obviously life is. And so there are times I really don't have the time, but I'm trying to really be conscious in doing an everyday thing. The running and the lifting, I'm not there yet.
You got to find the time. You got to find the time. And that's it, because when I was doing this transmission, I was working 8 to 4, and I had kids. But I found it, because you started to really love it, you just have to change up your life in a way. I mean, to get here on Mornings to do this show, you have to make some sacrifices.
But I like this.
Exactly. So I love this now, see? So after a while, you start to love it, and then it doesn't seem like such a big deal to get up at 3 so you can get the gym and still get here for 5. you just change gradually. Yeah, it happens.
Right. And once you fall in love with it, then it becomes like nothing.
Yes.
Literally. But you see the changes, and you feel great about the changes, and other people compliment you about those changes as well. Tell me what it did for your psyche and your thinking.
At first, I found I was relying on people too much, because you just made a point that everybody compliments you. Not necessarily, because some people have this concept of what a lady should look like. You shouldn't have too much muscle. You need to be a little soft. Or if you're getting small, they think you're getting too small. This time you may still be overweight, but they think you're getting too small because they're just not accustomed to you looking like that. You have got to understand, first of all, who you're doing this for. Why are you doing this? What's pushing your transformation? Is it to please you? Then you've got to be the deciding factor. Is it to please your spouse? Well, then that has to be your deciding factor. So first you've got to decide on why you're doing this transformation. But what happens in your mind, you start to really love this, you enjoy this, because it's not just looking good, it's feeling good. Yeah. It's not having the pains that everybody complains about. It's being able to do a handstand at 50. Hey, why not, right?
Yeah, why not? Why not? So the book is, while it's a wonderful read, it's a story of Kathy Ann Best, but it also is instructional.
Yes.
And so if you want to have a copy of this because you are looking for somebody or something that inspires you, this was a great book.
Yeah.
Fab to Flab. Fab.
Flab.
Fab.
To Fab.
All the alliterations. Flab to Fab.
Yes.
Where can we get a copy?
Well, it's available on Amazon.
Okay.
Here on Amazon. I also sell some copies at home. So if you have my Instagram, you can always message me there. But it's available.
So look, search for your name, Kathy Ann Best.
Yes, Kathy Ann Best.
We'll find you.
Yes.
So she sells it one-on-one. She will do it for you. But online on Amazon.
Correct.
For those of you watching overseas as well, you too can read the book Flab to Fab by Kathy Ann Best. Kathyann Best. And once you search for her, she will be able to connect with you, and you will buy the book, and you will move from Flab to Fab. Look at Kathy Ann. Kathy Ann is not in her 20s, but she looks that, and she lives that, and she smiles that, she radiates that. And so we all want to be able to do so as well, even me. Even me. So maybe I need to get a copy of the book myself, right? And start to move from Flab to Fab. But I want to encourage all of you to turn the pages and get to know a whole lot more about yourself and your fitness journey as well, and feel good about yourself as well. Kathy Ann, well done. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Don't stop. All right. Morning, Barbados. It's a break here. We're back in just a moment.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. and together we will travel the world.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Let's look at some news now. Barbadian consumers are paying a bit more at the pumps for gasoline and kerosene, Vaseline and diesel from today. The price of gasoline has moved from $3.95 a litre, an increase of 6 cents, while diesel has gone up by 7 cents and now retails at $3.40 a litre. Kerosene remains unchanged. The Ministry of Health and Energy has advised that going forward, the consuming public can expect to benefit from the continuation of government's policy, which mandates that retail prices should be reflective of those on the international market. The month of June is shaping up to be a good one for hoteliers on island. The Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association says its members are reporting the highest bookings in 5 years. Chairman Javon Griffith says much has changed, as Barbados was once considered a November to April destination, and he has extended gratitude to the island's tourism officials. Griffith is among a BHTA team in Antigua and Barbuda for the Caribbean travel marketplace.
That's an incredible feat, and we have to thank our Minister of Tourism and International Transport, the Honourable Ian Edghill, for the fantastic work that he's been doing in the last 12 months to drive this development for the island. Tourism, after all, is our largest economic sector. It's what pays the country's bills, and we have to get it right.
Mr. Griffith says there has been incredible growth in the tourism industry, with arrivals being driven by North America.
There's been a gradual shift over the last 12 months where we've had an explosion in new airlift from the US, which is now driving our market, particularly in the summer months. At the same time, we are now having one of the most active periods for new hotel development on the island, where there's several new projects which are currently underway and all should be completed within the next 3 years. So the largest of those projects is the new Beaches Barbados, which should be a 600-key family all-inclusive located on the northwest coast of Barbados. Also in the all-inclusive market, Royalton is working on their new 222-room Royalton Chic Barbados. That is due to open in the third quarter of 2026.
The insurance industry has been moved to the next level. The revelation came from the Congress directors of the just concluded 36th Annual Caribbean Association of Insurance and Financial Advisors Congress, Tyrone Lowe. He says the Congress was a far-reaching event and the working session in-depth as well as diverse, Trevor Thorpe reports.
Reviewing, retooling and setting a platform for growth and development, and the Congress director tells the business report those will be the areas to get the attention of managers and underwriters in the coming months.
You will get persons engaging with their clients again immediately to ensure that what they have currently is still serving their purpose. So you're talking about realignment. Pension is always an issue that we never get enough of. And I believe persons will be going back now to look at their person's pensions development. How are they coming along? Health insurance is another big thing, and quite frankly, there is some concern about the height in health premiums and so on.
The top insurance official said much is going on in the industry, which offers a very rewarding and satisfying career.
The notion that the sky is the limit is really possible in insurance. If you work really hard, if you attend to your clients, your income could be very rewarding. If you take it too easy and don't take it too seriously, you could very well find yourself suffering. But the industry is I think, transforming itself. It's going for people who seriously want to make this a career and to grow. And yes, people are still coming to the industry.
Barbados received the thumbs up for the recently held Congress, particularly for its content and the inclusion of new concepts.
One of our workshops included a presentation on AI. Is that a friend or is it a foe? How can it help your work? You need to put that as part of your own sales tools in the future.
Next year, the annual Carifa Conference will be held in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Trevor Thorpe for the Business Report.
To sports now, the Sandy Lane Charitable Trust Junior Road Tennis Tournament moved to the Ivy Hard Courts in St. Michael last Sunday for day 2. Several players showed they are in good nick.
Well, we're in the Ivy for some road tennis action. Amari Gill versus Usher Small back in the screen. Easy going in the first game. Small flinches first, trying to go for power off the net and out. Up 9-15, Gill was speeding along and asking all the questions of Small. Looking cool like Sunday morning. At game point, Small with the error. 21-11 in favor of Gill then. The second game was over swiftly as well. Gill's hand-eye coordination, a sight to behold, up 3-1. Small's points in the game were garnered from Gill's mistakes. But up 11-4, he could afford to do that. Opts for the neat backhand at an angle this time around. Small reached 8 before Gill shut the door with some crisp shots to take the contest. 21-11, 21-8. Next up, Zion Moore playing Kidane Critchlow, who is back in the screen. Critchlow was forced to survey the entire court to keep the point alive against the taller Moore. Moore was also given free license to swing his racket, waits for the perfect moment before going down the line. Critchlow's defense on this play must be commended. He was forced way beyond the baseline, but still had the excellent touch to keep the ball in play and stretch the rally. Moore dominated the first game at 21-3. Rubber stamps it with a trademark cross-court rocket. The forecast didn't change for the second as the players switch ends. Plan B for Critchlow, mix the pace up, and once things reach pedestrian level, Moore looking to climb into it, commits the error, hits the woodwork in the process. Zion, though, made it look super easy, taking the matchup in the end in 2 straight, 21-3. 21-8. Let's keep the niceness flowing. Third game of the set between Nerve Jones back in the screen and Armani Martin, equally talented. Who's going to blink first? Jones catches a piece of the court. Jones actually took the first game 21-7, only for Martin to hit back and level in the second. Jones, though, would come out on top, sealing this game. The big boys on court. Seth Knight in the far court versus Shaheen Leslie. Knight drew first blood 22-20. Flexing some muscle. Booming forearm drives. Leslie off target. Let's go to the second game. Knight maintaining the tried and tested backhand to forehand initially. Then a radical transformation. Whipping the racket. But the ball is long. Leslie, crafty player. Knight receiving a steady dose into his backhand. And it lands outside the border. Leslie takes it 21-19. Tied at 1 apiece, the third and decisive game then. Injection time lethal. In fact, Leslie built on that slight opening and would race to a 2-1 victory, sealing the third 21-14. Excellent day of road tennis in the Ivy.
And that's news until now. More news here on CBC TV8 at 12 noon. Morning Barbados takes a break. We're back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
The Ministry of Youth Sports and Community Empowerment's Bridges television series is back. Join us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. on CBC TV 8. Don't you miss it.
Lord,
will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources, he'll give you the people. Not only will he equip you with ideas, but he will equip you with favor, as he did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray Microbiome Probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
Week after week, Scald presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scald is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scald, a look into the future.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. I've seen a lot of places around the world and far apart. Deep inside, there's only one that's closest to my heart. Wherever I may lay my head, no matter where I roam, Barbados will always be home. I love the open spaces, what a feeling to be free. Smiling faces, oh, they mean the world to me. A place where friends are family, a place to stand alone. Barbados will always be home. Barbados, yeah. Barbados, Barbados will always be home.
The Prime Minister's office welcomes you to the Gall Hill Hardcourt for the Ideas Forum St. John edition, Monday, May 26th at 6:30 p.m. This is your chance to come together and share your ideas for the future of St. John and Barbados. Submit your ideas to ideasforum@barbados.gov.bb or find us on WhatsApp at 256-4646. Come out, let's gather and share our ideas for better St. John and Barbados.
And you're watching that. Isn't St. John beautiful? Absolutely stunning. And these are the vistas that you get when you come through St. John to engage with the community as we continue to gather in St. John with just a few more days remaining until the end of May. And boy, has it been a great month for St. John. Joining me right now is Dale Harrison, who is the Deputy Chair of the St. John Regathering Committee. And with her is Tamisha Doughty, the Public Relations Officer. Ladies, good morning.
Good morning.
Dale Harrison, I have to quarrel with you first of all. Just kidding. Waveney Rouse, who I know so well from my moments in radio, and she's become my friend now. She informed me that you are her niece.
Yes, I am.
And you said not a word. And so I'm on behalf of Waveney, I'm chastising you.
Okay.
chastisement
I
received?
accept that.
Good, good, all right. So here we are now, because coming up on Monday, we have the Ideas Forum. Where is that being held?
That's held at Gall Hill.
Right.
Gall Hill Hardcourts, 6:30 p.m.
We really want everybody to come out and share their
yes.
ideas.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, rain or shine, we're coming out indeed to share our ideas. So how does it feel though, Dale, that not just that the month is coming to an end, but how do you feel about all that has happened so far for St.
I'm
John?
so overwhelmed with all the things that we have seen. Some things we didn't even know, but we have established, and it have come out so beautifully, person. I am established with everything. I'm happy with my committee, with the people, how they react to what we gave and everything.
Wow. And you should see her eyes closed while she was sitting because she feels this. And that's the whole purpose of Regathering anyway, to bring that community spirit. And where best to do it but in St. John. And so there are a few things still to come. We're going to talk about that in just a little while. But how was it for you, Tamisha, though, serving on the committee and being a part of this whole Regathering experience? Because last time you didn't have the chance.
No, it means everything to me, honestly speaking. I think what is most heartwarming to me is seeing how our people have come together in the true spirit of community. Even last night, we were by Bay Tavern, karaoke in the Bay, and I don't know if it was something in Sharon's food, but every single person that sang so lustily. I mean, they were so soulful in their renditions. It didn't matter if it was the classics or some of the more modern hits. They were absolutely fantastic. And Pearson, we had a time.
I am sure you did. And I'm so happy about to hear that. That's fantastic.
Yes.
I know we have coming up tomorrow the Big Scabby Treasure Hunt.
Yes,
how's registration going for that, Dale?
Registration is going very good, and we are also accepting late registration tomorrow morning from 9:30 until 10.
Okay.
So in case you have those late persons who still wants to come out in your singles, your groups, we're going to take it.
I mean, this sounds like such a wonderful thing. You think you know St. John? Make it a sport. Come do the Scabby Hunt, and you will see for yourself. The information is right there on your screen. We shall all gather for 9:30 at St. John Parish Church Car Park. And once you go onto the socials, we gather in St. John or we gather in BIM, you can actually scan the code and you register your vehicle, you register yourself and your team. And good luck to all of you. Is the digital book still available?
The digital book is still available when you scan.
Good. Simple so. And then set off, team. And let's see what you do. Let's see what you get from there. Are you equally excited, Tamisha?
I am. We're actually encouraging persons, if they're representing another parish, to wear your parish color. Yes. So wear your parish color, come represent your parish. As you may know, Pearson, our map, we're going to have two versions of it, the printed version as well as the digital version for persons to be guided on the journey. So we're absolutely looking forward to fun and friendly rivalry.
Tomorrow's going to be real sport for real.
Yes, and after the drive-in treasure hunt and heritage tour, because, it's a dual event, we're going to be cooling down at Lemon Arbor. Yes. So some food, some drinks, and some good vibes. Some sauce.
Tomorrow is Saturday.
Some sauce.
There you go. So tomorrow, at the end of it all, Lemon Arbor is where we all climax at the end.
Yes.
The climax is going to be so wonderful, Pearson.
I am telling you.
And there are lots of surprises that you will get.
Prizes and surprises.
Really?
Yes.
So give me a hint.
Can I give you a hint? You got to come.
Because I'll figure it out, right?
You told me last week you was coming.
All right. Tomorrow's, you know how it is with me. My time is to be divided between everyone. And it gets very difficult. So tomorrow, folks, is You Think You Know St. John. It's the Big Scavenger Hunt and Heritage Tour. These are two different events.
No, this is
They're all
one.
the same.
So the treasure hunt is a drive-in treasure hunt, and at the same time you'll be exploring St. John. So you'll be learning about it. Hence, it's called also our heritage tour.
Have you timed this?
Yes, we do have a time for it. So we're anticipating that by 2:30 p.m. we will be finished. Yes.
And back at Lemon Arbor.
We want to meet at Lemon Arbor for 3, where we'll also do the presentation of the prizes.
So we'll be back to St. John Parish Church for around 2:30 or so. And because at 3 o'clock we're heading down to Lemon Arbor. And we're going to have some fun.
Some sauce too.
Yes. And surprises and prizes. They will not hint as to what that is, but it's going to be fantastic. And so the shop lines continue as well. What else is coming up, Dale?
Which shop line we have again?
You have one more, the Village Bar, or is that the same one?
That's
the same one.
No, we have.
But you're also doing then on the 25th, The Pillars of St.
The
John.
Pillars
Yes.
of St. John.
And you've nominated everybody so far, right?
We have nominated and invite the persons that were participating in that. And it's a private event which will be at the same Gull Hill Pavilion. It will be transformed into an immaculate area. Yes.
You guys are working hard, man.
Very hard.
I mean, you've
but
done it with pool woods, and now you have mahogany woods, if you so please. I love the fact it's now going to become absorbed into the whole national park section, and so things are happening in St. John. But then you have your marquee event. Who's going to tell me about the marquee event?
I can tell you a little about the marquee event.
Tell me everything you know.
Okay, so our marquee event, we're going to have a lot of fun. It's an action-packed day. It's going to be next week, Saturday. We're hoping to have it at Poolwoods. That is where we have earmarked at the moment.
So you start there, you end there.
Yes, definitely. The officials from the NCF, they're going to provide some more details, but we have a breadfruit roast that Dale and I are really looking forward.
Dale?
And the sauce competition.
You got about the sauce.
Yes, dominoes competition.
Sauce competition,
cricket,
domino competition.
Tea area.
Yes, there's going to be so much. But like I said, those details will be forthcoming from the NCF officials. They will give all of the details. But just a hint at what's come, it's going to be a full day of fun. And on that day too, we will also be passing on the baton to the St. George Regathering Committee because they're ready.
And that's good.
And we are going to show them what we offer at the end. So they'll be in focus.
So St. George, look out St. George.
Yes.
St. John is going to show you what they have offered and will continue to offer at the end of it all, so get jealous. And so this is happening on the 31st of May at Poolwoods. You know where we went for the opening, the big launch for the BWU's Family Day. That's exactly where we'll go again for this upcoming activity indeed. And so it's under the stars with entertainment later in the evening.
Correct.
And so it's a whole day activity for the entire family, everyone from every parish and from overseas too. We're all invited to Poolwoods on the 31st. And what time does that start? I know it's a day thing, but what time?
Yeah, it's going to start from the morning.
In the morning, early
Yes.
Around 12 p.m.
Because Dale is going to be roasting breadfruit. So
Yes, personally, I will be roasting breadfruit.
come and see Dale roast some breadfruit. And who doesn't love a good roasted breadfruit?
It's true, and all the different toppings.
Yes, the pickle that goes with it. You got me hungry already.
I know you were talking about sauce before. I know you were talking about sauce before. So now you're talking about the pickle in the breadfruit and everything.
And the pickle in the sauce and all that. So there's a sauce competition.
Yes.
So all saucers from St. John?
Yes, all saucers from St. John competing. They're
Like that,
representing their districts.
Right, so that's what it's got. So you get to sample everyone's and then we have a winner. Marcia Rock says, we gather in St. John. Oh, Marcia Rock, you're from St. John. We gather in St. John. So she's sending all the hearts across the world to you guys. So well done, Marcia. So be sure you're there on the 31st. So cricket competition, other sporting competitions.
I also need to mention also the karaoke competition.
On
So
the same
any
day?
person that is from St. John that wants to come to the karaoke, you could go on our website and register.
Yeah, it's going to be action-packed, Pearson. Definitely.
I'm telling you, it's a whole day after all.
It's a whole
and
day.
while you're watching the screen and you see the 31st says Codgerton and States, no, it's going to be at Poolwoods. Poolwoods, that's the change of venue. Poolwoods, of course, more details to come as to what else will unfold on that day. But it really is a wonderful space and place for all of us together. And you can accommodate thousands of people. It's a place where you can actually throw your blanket down and relax and recline. Bring your picnic chairs. You're under the cover of trees, but you're also going to be under the cover of stars in the night for the big concert to culminate it all. But it's a wonderful family occasion. It's a wonderful community occasion because that's what is happening in St. John this month of May. And so your takeaway, Dale, about Regathering 2025 in St. John, what do you think has been some of the outstanding things for you?
People came together more in the community spirit. They outreach to us, they show us different things. Even the older persons come out and show us things that we, younger generation, didn't know. And that was a togetherness for me, was the benefit of this.
Nice. Tamisha, what about you?
I have to echo Dale's sentiments in this regard. When I really see the true community spirits, I would have particularly seen it when we had our sports day at Gull Hill. when you saw the sportsmanship, I mean, although persons were competing, you know, it was still a bit of
Let
friendly
you know that
rivalry.
St. John win
So,
Yes, St. John won.
yes, and we kept all of the trophies in St. John.
Yes.
That was also wonderful. But like I said, just seeing persons compete, but still in a friendly way, and then all of the buzz too that was happening, you know, on the outskirts of the field at Gull Hill. Persons were liming, persons were talking, persons were sharing stories. That was amazing.
And that's now left to you guys to maintain and to continue.
Yes.
That's the legacy of regathering. And remember, the Heritage Centre remains open until the end of the month at St. John Church Centre.
Yes.
Yeah, every day. So you can go in and learn more about your history, learn more about what's happening or happened in St. John, maybe about your family as well as you go. And we encourage all of you to continue giving your full support right down to the end to St. John as we as a community gather in this regathering exercise. Dale Harrison, Tamisha Doughty, thank you so very much.
You're
And
welcome.
well
Thank
done to
you
yourselves
for
and your
having us.
community.
You're
You're very welcome indeed. Thank you for joining me this morning.
Thank you.
We're coming back in just a moment.
Gathering, together we gathering. Come along. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold.
Botanical Gardens, good evening. Kaiso. My mommy died when I was only 3. 5 years later, I lost my daddy. I went into a state of depression. It affected my life and education. My granny tried she best, but she was poor. She couldn't care for she grandchild anymore. It hurt she heart to send me to a children's home. Every time my granny visits, I start to feel homesick, falling out constantly. I miss you, granny. Come for me.
Oh, that's Kira. The year was 2023. Kira is here with me. She's brought herself right back at the National Botanical Gardens. Good morning, Kira.
Hi, good morning.
Did you feel yourself on the stage just now while watching?
I did. It took me back to 2023.
I was watching your body as you were moving to the whole thing as well. It just took you back there. How did you feel when you walked onto the stage and looked at yourself? Thousands of people watching, looking back at you. How did you feel then?
It was very nerve-wracking. The fact that I actually pulled number 17 that year, and based on the tempo of the song, we said, you know what, that number is a bit too late for me, so you have to switch. Obviously, you know, there's a time frame you can switch. And the only person that wanted to switch had number one. And with my first year at the Pickety Crop competition, it was a hard decision, but you know what, I say, set the tone. I took it, and I just, you know, was in my zone. I say, you know what, Pickety Crop sold out. I am looking for a lot of persons out there. Just do what you have to do and set the tone. So I did that.
And are you happy with what you did?
I am very happy and satisfied and ready to go again this year.
All right, ready. Whoa, that's a challenger's thrown down, girl. She's ready to go again this year. Are you still in the House of Soca? I
am in the House of Soca. I will be singing a song called Neglect. It was written and arranged by Billboard Morrill. And you guys can see me in the House of Soca tank June the 15th this year at Derek Smith School.
In a few weeks' time, we'll see you there indeed.
Definitely.
And so you're ready for competition yet again this year?
Yes, I was born ready. I always say that. It helps me to calm the nerves.
Girl. Okay, so you're born ready, and you're ready for this year as well, and you're ready to be called up again to the big stage.
I am.
So what are you doing to be fully ready?
There are so many things that I have done different from all the years, from Turf Farm, Junior Monarch stages till now. I have a different team behind me, along with Sharon Karuwa, Auntie Jan from the House of Soca, and I am doing vocal training with Kelly.
Good.
Yes, Kelly Cadogan. I always say just because you're good at something doesn't mean that you don't want to be better.
Yes.
So I am rehearsing the song, not over rehearsing, drinking the right things, eating the right things, and doing the breathing exercises, and not just warming up my voice, but cooling down as well. Yes. Taking care of it.
That's important.
I'm doing a lot of different things this year. It feels different, and I actually am very proud so far of myself.
And so, your daughter's here.
She is.
And so, talk to me a little bit about what it means as a mother and setting the example for your daughter.
As a mom, it means everything to me, knowing that I have someone there that motivates me. There are some days you don't know how you get it done, but that thought that you have someone looking at you, watching you, trying to follow into your footsteps, it really pushes you. In reference to my daughter, I actually see a lot of my traits in her. From her exams to her swimming and running, she's very persistent. Yes. She's very competitive like me. I find that if I tell her something or I show her a time that she swam, she must beat that time going into the next stage. So I am really proud, to be honest, of her and myself as a mom.
So the day she comes and she tells you, Mommy, I'm entering the Soca arena, what shall you say?
I tried to get her to do Junior Monarch. This is before she's at the St. Michael's School now. Yes. I tried to get her into Junior Monarch probably when she was in class 3, and up to no, she said, Mommy, no. But every time I have to perform in the House of Soca tank, she wants to be there. She's up front supporting me. She has the videos. She knows all the songs, and she gives me honest feedback. That's one thing that I love about her. She said, Mom, don't sing it like that. I ain't supposed to sing. You know, and she shows me. So, yeah.
So it's just a matter of time.
It's just a matter of time. Hopefully. But regardless of if she chooses to sing or not, I will support her decision because I want her to be who she wants to be and not like her mommy.
Do you want to be known as an entertainer or anything else?
I want to be known as both an entertainer and a career lady. So I would love to be known for my music, not just in Barbados, but I would like to expand regionally and internationally. I actually, for the first time this year, did a vision board, a music vision board, yes. So on that board, I have all the things that I would want to accomplish in 2025. Pickety Crop Finals, I have it there. I have certain flags of certain countries that I would want to be in, you know, showcasing my culture. And as a career lady, I want to, right now I'm a financial advisor at Sagikar, but Shakira, as you know, is different than Kira. Yes. But I still keep it professional, you know? So yeah.
I like that. You have a vision board. You can see it and you shall achieve it indeed.
That is correct.
And so we're getting ready for Crop Over 2025. You're in the House of Soca. You have your social commentary, which is going to be written by Billboard.
It's already written. Actually, it was written. We spoke. Funny thing is that usually I am very last minute or I am a bit late or laid back with what I want to do. This year, I started everything in 2024. So I thought about what I would want to sing. Billboard said, Kira, or he would say Shaki K sometimes because that was my name from Junior Warner. He said, I don't want you to just tell me you want to sing and I come up with a concept. I want you to just sit down and analyze things daily. I want you to think about what you would want to sing and expand on what you would want to sing about these things. It's just like it's just like an English or a composition that you're writing.
To sing in your own voice from your own truth.
Correct. And when I told him about my concept, and he was like, this here real good to be all right. And then based on the concept, and I was able to integrate a lot of things where the country is concerned, families, education, issues, nation building. I was like, whoa.
What's the song called?
Neglect.
Neglect.
Yes.
So Neglect is what we shall hear in the tent.
Definitely.
When we come to House and Soko opening on the 15th of June.
15th of June.
And then every week thereafter, indeed. And Kira, hopefully one day will be at this, well, I don't know where it's going to be, if it's at the Botanical Gardens again, but that's, should be hoping to get her into the finals with Neglect.
Definitely.
But you have another song for 2025.
I do. The name of that song is called Down in the Middle. It was written by Shanna Pull the Trigger.
Yes.
Hines, and it was produced by Barry. And I feel like, not saying that I didn't have great music in the past, but I would say that, sometimes when something really aligns with you and you feeling it, you're loving it, you find a difference in the way you sing it, the way you perform it, the way you promote it. And this year, I am seen by other persons. Up to yesterday, I got post about Apple Music with me being on the charts, and I was like, what?
Nice. You must have trembled when you saw that.
Yes, I was very excited, and I was like, wow. And the feeling is, I can't even describe it because it's just new to me, and I'm still learning. I'm trying to do the right things. I'm trying to invest in myself, and to see that my hard work is not going unnoticed, the feeling is...
I am so excited for you, Kira. You have no idea. I'm feeling your excitement as well right now, and it's so good to know that globally you're being recognized in the way that you are on Apple's streaming platform. And so look for it there. It's called Down in the Middle.
Yes.
It's written by Pull the Trigger.
Yes.
And so this one is now a little different. It's not social commentary.
No, it is not.
This is party. Are you hoping to enter all the competitions?
Hoping that there are competitions. I would like to be in the... I would love to be in the People's Choice for sure. That would be a first for me. And Road March, why not?
Why not?
Why not?
We're going down in the middle.
We're going down.
So I want to give viewers an opportunity to get a taste of going down in the middle indeed. So folks, let's take a look and listen to Kira with Down in the Middle for 2025.
It's Kira. Down in the middle. Pull the trigger. A hot and a steaming. When you put it down in the middle. Boy, you got me screaming. When you put it down in the middle. Oh gosh, I wanna wind down there. When you put it down in the middle. Oh gosh, I wanna wind down there. When you put it down in the middle. Watching you, watching me, walking up inside the party. Got me feeling like a celebrity. Ooh, me and you in the zone. I can't wait to get you alone. I don't think we're making it, in making it, in making it. Oh, oh gosh, don't stop. I want you wind up on me like that. I want you tell me to bend my back. I want you push it, I push it, I'm pushing it, I'm pushing it back. I want you wind up on me like that. Cause it ain't like you got it crack. I when I push it back, 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 back. A hot and a steaming. When you put it down in the middle. Boy, you got me screaming. When you put it down in the middle. Oh gosh, I wanna wind down there. When you put it down in the middle. Oh gosh, I wanna wind down there. When you put it down in the middle. Boy, you down in the corner. Like you touch a corner. Don't say I didn't warn ya. That I got this wind up fire. Rock me, baby, rock me, baby. Rock me, baby, rock me, baby. Rock me, baby, rock me.
It's called Down in the Middle. That's Kira. That's a sweet soca song indeed, and it is already on the airwaves, and it's really creating quite a buzz. And to know that, how do you feel to know Bajans are really locking into this?
I feel really good because, you know, the saying Bajans are the hardest
You got that
persons
right.
to please. And why I feel good about it is that a lot of these persons I do not know. There are persons that even posted about the song that I do not know, and I still reach out and said thank you, you know. So because it's genuine,
yes,
that's all I need to know, that it's genuine. You know, I love the support from my family, my friends, my supporters, but to see it coming from persons that do not know you and being genuine, you know, it's good.
Oh, that is so beautiful indeed. Finding your voice, finding your feet, Shaki K, but now she is Kira. And so she is big and out ready for Crop Over 2025. Kira, thank you. I wish you much success in your journey this season long, you know, in your social commentary and in your party music as well. I'm hoping to see you at every final competition indeed.
Well, thank you so much for having me as well. And when you see me there, we will say we manifested that today.
Yes, because on our vision board.
Correct.
There you go. Social media, how do we find you?
You can find me at Kira246, KEERAH246. That is YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
KEERAH246. Note the name, book her if you have to book her, because she's looking to come visit you as well, wherever you are in the world, to sing for you. So Kira, thank you. Wish you all the best, all right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. We're back in just a moment.
Who does pay for Keisha clothes? Who buy the ring in Keisha nose? Who purchased the paint for Misha toes? That's not my business. I don't care who does search the internet. Who buy the hair that crunchy head? One thing that to show about I can bet. That's not my business. So straight up, I don't want no. Keep it to yourself, love. I don't want no. None of my business. I don't want no. Cause you just search the things I don't need to hear. So I don't want no. Keep it to yourself, love. I don't want no. Not my concern. I don't want no. Cause you just search the things I don't need to hear. Ha! You see the she say thing, no, no, don't mix me with that. I don't care which story you bring, no, I'm not into the chat. You ain't put me where you are visiting. Talk off your mouth and listening. You going off your beat for a whole day about things and interesting things. I don't care.
Lost, I love that song. I love still that song from Freshie, which is a big hit. Freshie, good morning, right?
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
I mean, that song is still resonating with audiences everywhere, every time.
For sure, day to day, something we go through day to day, you know?
Yeah.
For sure.
I know the last time we spoke as well, you know, you had to go to a birthday party to perform that one?
Yeah, I had to perform and people loved it. Man, the Dubai.
I don't care. I don't care. So welcome to 2025. You've had a wonderful 2024. Are you looking forward to what are you expecting for 2025?
2025, with the music I have out so far, you know, expecting a bigger, better crop over this time around.
So we can look forward to even more of the freshness of Freshie.
For sure, without a doubt.
How much of last year are you still riding on?
Well, last year I'm still riding on the I Don't Care, Good Girl. Well, out of the 5 that I put out, I'm still getting great performances from 3 out of
Yeah.
the 5, you know.
That's nice. Puts pressure?
Yeah, I won't say it puts pressure,
Yes,
but
it does.
I honestly won't say so, but you know, it just shows where I came as an artist and where I'm heading now. So loving it.
So you've seen your development and you've seen your change and you're happy with the change?
For sure, without a doubt.
What would you not go back to?
Well, I would not go back to so much bashment per se, you know. Growth, music requires growth, and I've grown past that stage in life, you know. Not saying that I won't go back to saying bashment, but I don't want to do as much bashment before, because I want to show people that bashment is who I once was as an artist, but that's not who I am now as a previous artist.
It's not the sum total of you
at all.
So who are you now as an artist?
As an artist now, I would say this is the new and improved Freshie. Basically, I look to do more grown folks music per se, you know, because it's like music has no age limit. You can have the youngsters loving your music, they can love the bashment, they can love the jump up, but you still gotta give, you know, the older folk something to party to as well.
right.
So I try to mix it up, you know, keep everybody happy per se, yeah.
And I'm glad you've gone there with that conversation, because last year, the age of the woman who wanted you at her birthday party, the age of some of the people who I've heard from as well, you know, it says that your music reaches a wide demographic. And that I'm glad you've been able to zone in on, to be able to create content, to create music that makes everybody, and not just a few, feel good.
Correct.
And so what have you released so far for the year?
So far, I have released a groovy, very nice groovy called Life of the Party. That was written by Sadis, you know, that gives more of a live instrument feeling, live drums, live rhythm guitar, live bass guitar. Yeah, that's the baby from me for this season. You know, every artist is have that one tune that speaks volumes for me. Life of the Party is that tune for me because it made me step out of my comfort zone. And I mean, like, that's where you make best decisions, you know. You may not be comfortable doing something new, but that's where most history creates itself.
Life of the Party with using live instruments.
Yeah, for sure.
You know how I feel about that? You have no idea. Let me tell you how I feel about live instruments. Live instruments give life to any production. The synthetic ones, I call it synthetic, you know, very synchronized and that kind of, it doesn't feel the same way. And I'm sorry, so who has been playing on your production?
Well, my production, Life of the Party, was done by Noise Boys, big ups to Noise Boys.
Yeah.
I also have a track by Shortwave Production, a track called Lawless on the Gooseberry Rhythm. You know, one of your own, Shane Clark. You know, big ups to Mr. Shaw. I also have a song on a rhythm called Wiggle and Jiggle with Denisha, my first ever collab. So far I have 3 tracks out so far, so, you know, 2 more to come.
2 more to come of 5?
And also, Not the Cross, you Go Down by Shanna Pull the Trigger, so 4.
So it's Go Down,
Life of the Party, Wiggle and Jiggle, Lawless.
And Lawless.
For sure.
Those are just a few. Do I do a production? Can he sing now, or you have to take the break first? Waiting for instruction. Freshie's here, folks. This is our Festival Friday. And as you do recall from last year, he had that big song. I don't care who put the paper on Tisha toes, who put the real, who the other girl knows. That's not my business. And that's the whole point. So, yes. So what we're going to do now is we're going to give Freshie a chance to sing. Which one are you going to sing for us right now, Freshie?
I'm going to do Lawless today. Short. Mr. Shaw.
All right, Lawless. Are you ready to be lawless?
Of course.
Be ready for you to be lawless too.
It's that kind of thing.
So, ladies and gentlemen, live to perform from Mornin Barbados in Bridgetown, Barbados for the first time for Crop Over 2025, a big hit produced by Shockwave, a man who works with us at the CBC, who is a brilliant engineer indeed. And so we cannot wait to hear what that's about. And so, Lawless, perhaps it's going to be a part of the song for you to really pay attention to this year, dear. We're looking forward to hearing that from him. Remember, he is available for bookings. You just search for Freshie, Freshie, and you'll find him indeed. So if Freshie is ready, Freshie, get Lawless. For sure. Let's go.
Bam! Well, look at me. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Boy, right now, well, I can't hear at all, at all, at all, at all, at all. Boy, I'm feeling lawless. I got wine on somebody's daughter. One of them in for the slaughter. I got in vex, feeling lawless. No behavior, no order. Makes the bumper like mortar. I got in vex, yeah. Today I feel it to follow no rules. I am not doing it, yeah. I feel it to kick it to school. And you cannot ruin it. I can walk and go down to the ground with a bumper. Yeah, that's it, yeah. I's a serious man, it's you that I come for. Now you're walking away, gal. You make me stare, gal. Now I'm feeling to misbehave. I'm feeling to misbehave. Walking away, gal. You make me stare, gal. Now I'm feeling to misbehave. I'm feeling to misbehave. Lawless. I got wine on somebody's daughter. One of them in for the slaughter. I got in vex, feeling lawless. No behavior, no order. Makes the bumper like mortar. I got in vex, my friends that behave. They never see me yet. When they act disobedient, eyes get on like I don't got no owner. Girl, bring that bumper and give me it. Them other guys ain't ready yet. Calling me right, it giddy up. Yeah, yeah. Bring the bumper right here. Let me show you why bad behavior. Walk it in away, gal. You make me stare. Now I'm feeling to misbehave. I'm feeling to misbehave. Walk it in away, gal. You make me stare, gal. Now I'm feeling to misbehave. I'm feeling to misbehave. Lawless. I got wine on somebody's daughter. One of them in for the slaughter. I got an index, feeling lawless. So lawless. No behavior, no order. Makes the bumper like mortar. I got an index. Hey, today I feel it to follow no rules. I am not doing it, yeah. I feel it to kick it to school. And you cannot ruin it. I can walk and go down to the ground with a bumper. Yeah, that's it, yeah. I's a serious man, it's you that I come for. Now you're walking in away, gal. You make me stare, gal. Now I'm feeling to misbehave. I'm feeling to misbehave. Walk it in away, gal. You make me stare, gal. Now I'm feeling to misbehave. How you feeling? How you feeling? I'm feeling lawless. I got wine on somebody's daughter. One of them in for the slaughter. How you feeling? I'm feeling lawless. No behavior, no order. Makes the bumper like mortar. I got in vex, yeah. Today I feel it to follow no rules. I am not doing it.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment's Bridges television series is back. Join us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. on CBC TV 8. Don't you miss it.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do.
You just had it there from Freshie. Lawless indeed, you know. That's it day. I love that line. You know me, my Bajans. I love the Bajanisms and the whole thing. So Freshie's here. He's joined now by the producer of the Gooseberry Rhythm, Shane Shockwave. Good morning to you, Shock.
Good morning.
Good to see you
Good
again.
Morning, Barbados.
Yeah, man. The man is brilliant. The man is humble. He's really, really good at what he does indeed. I had to say that to you, Shane.
Yeah,
You'd have said it to you before anyway.
Yes.
So keep that humility and keep producing the great work that you produce.
Thank you.
And while I'm saying that, I must remember Freshie. I must say to folks about Freshie. I met Freshie in the corridor earlier this week. And what I love about him and his how gentlemanly he is. He came right up to me, shook my hand. How are you doing? I'll see you on Friday. That was so cool. That was so cool. Very pleasant, young man.
Thank
and
you.
so the Gooseberry Rhythm. Talk to me,
Yes.
Shane, about what it is.
The Gooseberry Rhythm, an up-tempo groovy, stemming from what I would have produced. I produced the song and soul last year, and I found a little pocket that I find has been missing, if I could say that. It has been missing from the crop over season. So I find that I went triple platinum at Q in the community.
Yes, yes.
So I
That's
hold
the
the
best
little
place,
pocket,
after
the
all.
best place, you know. I saw how the folk line dance and everything to the project from last year. So I say, you know what? I think people liking, people listening.
Yes.
No, so let me hold this little and go forward here.
Nice. So how many artists do you have on the Gooseberry Rhythm?
6. 5 tracks, 6 artists, yes.
5 tracks, 6 artists.
Yes.
Room for more?
Right now it's closed. I probably have to do a part 2 because I had a lot of people interested in the project.
So, Freshie, you're on the rhythm.
For sure.
And you're singing what on the rhythm?
This song is called Lawless. That was written by Sadis. You
That's
know,
the only one he get, Shane?
You want another one?
You want? I'm pushing you to get some more work here, my man. So that Lawless one is written by Sadis, you said?
Yeah, written by Sadis is one of those tunes that makes you, you know, express yourself, how you're feeling, you know. And I mean, just let me put this out there in the early, it's a good Lawless.
Yes,
you know,
it
to
is.
enjoy yourself, just throw out your hands, wink on somebody's daughter, you know. Embrace the crop over or festivities, you know. Just feel lawless, enjoy yourself.
People who know me will know that I am not going to endorse what is unlawfully lawless, but that lawlessness was a good lawless to me. And that's why I said, you know, does it day. And that's the whole point, you know, that you're able to create music, as you said, that transcends ages. Everybody sees their part to it. You feel the instructions. You feel it's just who we are.
That's right.
It's just who we are at a party, at a fete, any time of day, any time of year. And that's the magic of that Gooseberry Rhythm, isn't it?
Yes, yes, it is. From the time the beat drop, makes you move.
You get it.
You feel it in your shoulders and everything. Moving.
Gotta move.
And
Gotta
again,
move.
it's what is cute in the community's house.
Yeah,
You are.
definitely.
I can see the ladies out there moving their bumpers to the end of the line dancing.
Yeah.
And that's beauty. There's a magic to producing in that kind of way, Sean.
Yes.
What is, Shane, what is it? How do you find it?
All right. I'm normally in the party arena. I put on events and stuff like that. So seeing what drives the people, what moves the people, the melodies and everything, that's what I put into the music. You know what I mean? The bass, the way you play the bass, driving, that's what the people are looking for. From the time you hear it, you feel it, that's it. That's
That must drive you crazy, though. I mean, because it's always in your head, looking, searching all the time and hearing.
Yeah. Hearing things.
How do you go to sleep at night and let your brain rest?
I don't think I do. I try.
You try.
I try, but every time you get an idea may come from out of nowhere. You get an idea, you have to run and try to get it down before you lose it. Take out the phone, record something, hum something. So I don't get much sleep.
Wow. And you had that same problem, Freshie?
Yeah, for sure.
Sleepless night.
This time of year ain't a loss to me. Sleepless night up to last night, you know. It's just that time of the year, not only going over tracks, but also, you know, planning your strategies. You know, you gotta be strategic in the music, you know, study your performances, what you can do, your do's and your don'ts to make yourself a better artist.
Right.
You know, it's just, you live in your head this time of the year, for sure.
Even the releases.
For sure.
Wow.
Everything has to be strategic.
And so, this song that we know about is called Lawless. It's on the Gooseberry Rhythm. And the Gooseberry Rhythm is produced by that man, Shane, Shockwave, indeed. And so, it's available across the island.
Yes,
all these songs?
all the streaming platforms.
Great, fantastic, great work, guys. I want to thank you. Wish you both a happy crop over. All the success for crop over as well, because we have one more performance. Still a little oof of it to come from Freshie. So let me shut up. It's all right. Let me shut up and wish all of you a wonderful weekend. Our little crew wishes you the very best indeed. Take a look at this one from Freshie. Take care, everybody.
That's right. So fresh, so clean. Pull the trigger. Boom. I take a wine for me now. Come. I take a wine for me now. I take a wine for me now. Come. I take a wine for me now. I love the way you go down to the ground. Love the way that bumper going round. Go down, girl, do your thing. On the race, you're in, you're done with. Go down and make it tremble. Got my heart beating like a cymbal. Go down. I love the way you go down. Whatever goes up, must come down. And you stop on my list right now. Sexy brown skin.
Good morning.